Oh, good morning. Gosh, it's been a while since I have been here and been live and sharing this wonderful work. So, what a crazy summer. Actually, it's been kind of a crazy year. And then, who would have known in Georgia, 6 hours from the coast, that we would be dealing with hurricane weather? So, um, anyway, I was beginning to wonder if my guides were saying, don't do live shows on Friday mornings, like maybe that's not your time. But anyway, I'm here, glad to be here. And for those of you that are new to this work, or new to me, I'm Betsy Grady. I work with the Akashic Records. I consult the Akashic Records for people individually, groups. Um, and it is just such a joy to get to be able to work in the records. And I would encourage any and everyone to look into it and find a way to study it, learn it, read books about it, or just keep tuning in here. So you're welcome to send your questions in. I have a few already sent in that I will get to today. And we'll get on the show hopefully weekly, not next week because I'll be in Fairhope, Alabama, and I'll be booked with private sessions that day, but then I'll be back. So, and let's just roll with Friday mornings. I think the next show is going to be October 11th, and then the 18th, the 25th, and then I do plan on continuing that through November also, so November 1st as well. All right. But thank you guys for being so patient with me and interested in this work and curious, all of the above. So what I'm going to do is read the Akashic Prayer, and then I'll take a second to connect. And we'll get a general message from the guides, and then I'm going to hop into the questions. I do have private sessions starting today at noon my time, so I'm not going to be able to get to all the questions by any means. Yet I'll save them, or y'all could resubmit them. And remember, when you submit questions, please send them to my email, Betsy, Betsey, at betsygrady.com. And I will answer them in the order I get them. Okay, so let's read the prayer. If you feel comfortable, relax, you want to close your eyes while I do this, I always encourage you to, but just do what feels right to you. And I'm hoping you can hear me. Okay. I ask God if He will have His shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records, so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. All right, let me see what the guides want to start with this morning. It's so funny that hurricane energy blows through, and it's so strong. I'm sure, well, many of you have probably been through this yourself. I used to live on the coast. I've lived on the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Gulf. Hurricanes are no joke. There's no doubt about that. And it just brings such an intense energy. And so I just want to say a little, just a prayer for everyone dealing with the aftermath of that today. I haven't looked at the news or anything. I know the storm is heading on up, to what I think Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, that area. So just sending good vibes their way too, that it is minimal, whatever they get. Okay, so for a general message today from the guides, let's see here. Well, speaking of that, the guides are saying, and I'm sure this is in response to me making that comment, but they're saying there is always going to be tragedy. There's always going to be tragedy, trauma, disruption. It is a part of the cycle of being here, being human. And it's kind of like there's a method to the madness. There is a purpose behind that, crazy energy, or when just crazy things happen to you, is what the guides are saying. And that's on purpose. And so often it really does unite. And whether it's in a neighborhood, whether it's, in a state, whether it's in the whole country, whether it's in the whole world. And when traumas and tragedies like this happen, the unification of people coming together is uplifting. And you might think, now this is what the guides are saying, you might people coming together is uplifting. And you might think, now this is what the guides are saying, you might think that this destruction carries that intense vibration. They're saying it's not necessarily a low vibration. And what happens in this unification, though, that is the part that's the high vibration. And that is what the planet is adjusting to. And so it's kind of like when we say a prayer, it's a high vibration, and it reverberates out. And, we're sending this prayer out. And they said it's the same thing when we come together and unite. We're so concerned of our neighbors. I did read a little in Atlanta. One of the apartment buildings, I think in Buckhead, had flooded the first floor. And the people in the upper floors were opening their doors and letting people come in, sleep on the couches, bring whatever they wanted, pets too. And it was like, it was so neighborly. And a lot of these people never met their neighbors. And so it's in those gestures, in that coming together, the guides say it raises the vibration of the planet. And even if it's localized, it still reverberates out. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in like this hurricane. Again, I don't know the damage it's caused and where. Um, and of course, there's going to be a lot to deal with there. But what the guides are saying is it brings out the best in people. And because it really reminds people to come from the heart, and it reminds people that they care, they really care. And it's such an opportunity to, I don't want to say do a good deed, but it's such an opportunity to give and to share and to receive. And in that, they said there's really divine beauty, divine love. And it's so important, people be in that. And even if they're not conscious of it, it's just a remarkable thing all the way around. And so they would have us look at tragedies and traumas, and whether it's on a scale like that, or maybe even a car accident, a fender bender, just a bump that you have with somebody. They said, look at it as an opportunity to be present in your life, to stop and take notice, to get in touch with your higher self, let yourself receive, let yourself give, whatever it might be. But really remember to come from the heart. And in these events, that happens naturally. And so they said to have appreciation, and really look for the positives in times like this, because there's a lot going on. And, there's a lot that could divide us. There's a lot that can unite us. And okay, we're going to get a little political here. This is interesting because I normally stay away from all that stuff. But the guide said, we are in this country looking at division, and it's becoming really polarized. And it's becoming clear, and it's becoming obvious. And they said that The last time we had real tragedy on our soil was 9/11, and it united the country. It actually really touched the whole world and united the world. And they said, if we don't get our act together and start really understanding this polarization is going to attract another, I'm not going to say 9/11. I'm not getting that prediction yet. If this country continues to go the way it's going in this divide, they're saying that the guides of the earth will orchestrate something to bring us back together. And that could be a natural disaster. It could be something like 9/11. And yet they want to kind of put that warning out there. Now, this is really interesting because nothing like this has been coming through in readings. And, a lot of people don't ask about this, but they are saying they would like to give a warning, more of an alert, a heads up. And they would like each of us, you, me, all of us individually, to not see the other person's point of view, because sometimes that's really difficult. Yet what they're saying is to let go of judgment. And I know that's really hard because both sides, the polarity in the political climate right now is really hard. And yet what they're saying is, if we would disengage from the intensity of whatever side, and and they said keep sending out prayers, keep living from your heart, and keep looking for the good in people. And no matter what side you're on, or even if you're trying to be somewhere in the middle, they said to keep looking for the good in people and keep offering the good in yourself. And kindness is really what can unite and avoid an event that would bring the country together. So they would have you, they're using the word, preach that to your friends and to your neighbors. Just be kind and to let go of judgment and to trust in this process and to realize ultimately, no matter what side you're on, what the guides are saying is everybody wants to feel safe. And there is in that the two sides just have different ideas about what safety looks like. But what the guys are saying is everybody wants to be safe. And yes, there's a lot more to that. But if you dial it down, that's what a lot of people want, or they're saying is at the basis of everything. And so they are saying you have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to avoid a big event by being kind, by appreciating, and by living from our heart in all things. And so when you find that you want to react to something, they said really take a step back and look at that. Like, where's that coming from, that reaction? And ask yourself what you really need here. And understand we're all coming from the same place and we all want the same thing when it comes right down to it. Okay, no more political stuff unless y'all ask a question here today. I'm going to hop into our questions. That's so crazy. Okay, oops, hang on here. So, hi, you guys. Thanks for joining. Okay. Okay, here's one. Oops, not that one. Well, I had one. I don't know where it went. Okay, here's a question. So much is happening in my life. My life is flowing well, and I'm recognizing many moments of serendipity so graciously opened to me by all the good surrounding me. I would like to offer my gratitude to my guides and ask, in all that I do, Is there something more or different for me to give my attention and focus to? Okay, that's a great one. I love the space you're in. That just feels so nice mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So let's see. Okay, all right. Just seeing if there's anything for you in particular to give your time or attention or focus to. Hmm. Okay, one of the things that they're saying, and they're so grateful you asked this question also, this is something we could all do. They are saying they would encourage you once a week to reach out to someone that you have not reached out to in a while. And whether it's hello, I'm thinking of you, or just sending you happy wishes today, you're on my mind. It could be a card that you mail someone. Um, and they said it doesn't have to be anything more than that. You could say in there if you wanted how that person has influenced your life in some way, or just that you're just happy to know them, and or have had an experience with them, whenever that may be. And they said too, it's so funny. They said whoever pops up in your mind, whether it's old from your past or current in your life, uh, they said go with that. Just go with that. Hello. Okay. And they said that too is kind of like sending prayers out to the universe, raising the vibration. But it's just, I don't know if most of us, when you check the mail, I don't know, what's in there, but a lot of advertisements and flyers and things like that. And they said it's just so much fun to receive mail and just something happy in the mail. And just for the fun of it, because you're going to feel good doing it and they're going to feel good receiving it. And there's no attachments, there's no expectations, there's just a little happy is all they're saying. And if you can't do that once a week, you might sit down at the end of the month and pick 3 people you want to mail cards to. um, hi, thanks for joining. So it's kind of fun to decorate your own cards, or maybe just have a little stash of them. uh, Keep some stamps on hand. I just got hummingbird stamps. They're so pretty. There's so many to choose from too these days. Um, and that's it. That's it. They said you are in a wonderful flow and you are acknowledging the flow that you're in, and you already have appreciation for the flow that you're in. And so you're being very present and mindful. And they love that for you, because it just feels so purposeful and clear. And so they appreciate that for you, and so glad you have found that way in your life right now. And so they would just have you share that a little bit. And they are even saying you might even want to, if you have little stickers or anything, it's like keep them with you. And when you go to the store, you might give the cashier a sticker on your way out. Just it's like be playful and uh, send those little things of happiness out. They said you would really love that. And the people that receive that from you would really love it. So, what fun. Okay. Okay, hang on here. I'm trying to, some of these questions, I know y'all have been sitting here a while because, well, because we haven't been here a while. Let me see here. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get to one that's, okay, here's one. I have a question. I am wondering what I most need to let go of so I can move on to openly receive the gifts coming to me. I am told I am hanging on to 7 things. If you can help me figure out what any of them are, I would love it. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. Two things that I'm hearing out of the seven. I am hearing guilt and shame. And hang on here. For some reason, those two now. Those are two pretty big ones. Now they could be related to one particular incident, or it could just be kind of an undercurrent in things from your past. You know, oftentimes they're saying we'll look back on our past with regret and judgment of our younger selves and think, oh, like we cringe sometimes at some of the stuff we did or said, or maybe the things we chose, the people we chose, that kind of stuff. And they said to, if you have shame in any of that or guilt in any of that, and you feel like, God, I should have treated myself better, any of that, they said to let that go. And they said perfectionism is another one that they would let go and realize life is supposed to be messy. And the guide said they wouldn't have it any other way because that's where the fun comes in. So 3 of the 7, I would tell you they're saying today: guilt, shame, perfectionism. And it might be really subtle. It might be something you're not even conscious of what you're doing or where that's showing up in your life. But those are the 3 they would give you today to really look at. And I'm also hearing to tell you this. You need to understand whoever told you have 7 things to let go of before you can receive, that is not true. That they're saying that is the universe is unlimited, and that's not the case. It's not like, oh, once I do this work, I'm going to receive everything that I'm here to receive. They said it's not about that, because there's such a constant flow from the universe to the guides of giving, giving, giving. This is an abundant universe, and it is a loving universe, and these are all benevolent beings, and they wish for you all of this stuff. And so there's a constant flow. Yeah. Now, if you're hanging out in the lower vibrations of guilt and shame or victim, um, feeling powerless to your situation, it is harder to receive and see all the stuff that's coming your way. It is. Yet it doesn't mean it's not coming. And so the work is really, again, to get out of that vibration. And so how do you get out of that vibration? How do you get rid of guilt and shame? You know what? You look at where you are today and you appreciate your story and realize who you are today is not going to make those same decisions, and is not going to make those same choices, and is not going to say those same things. And you're not, because you already did, and you learned from it, you've evolved from it. And so you have to look at your story to this point in your life, no matter where you are, as an evolution. And it's like the cells in your body change every 7 days. So you do too. It's like you change as you evolve. You're not that same person, and you wouldn't make the same choices you made at those ages before. So they said to be at peace with that. And if you could find a way, they said to laugh at some of it, just be light about some of the things you've done or experiences you've put yourself in, like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? And some of it is serious, absolutely. And they're not saying to make light of everything, yet they said be at peace with everything and realize it's a part of your story. It's a part of your soul's journey, and it's in there because you wanted to evolve this lifetime, and you are much wiser from all of those things. So they said to let that stuff go. And as you shift in that energy and really love who you are, really love your story, love who you are, love where you are, realize where you are is temporary, yet things can't change, until you just really receive where you are, love where you are, appreciate where you are, what you're in, find how it's changing you, find how you're evolving in it. And they're saying that that's going to really create a flow that you feel is tangible, like you really are receiving things you want. And so it's kind of like this. They want you to think of this. It's like the radio. There are all these different channels on the radio. You might be tuned into one, but they're all still playing. They're all still playing songs, and but if you're tuned in, to guilt or shame or perfectionism, I mean, that's kind of what you're going to get. But remember, all the other ones are still playing, and all you have to do is change, their station that you're choosing to listen to, and you do that by changing what you're focusing on, how you're hanging out, what your vibration is. So, gosh, if you started your day, this is so great. If you started your day every day with how could I live in my highest vibration today? Like, is there something I can do to start this day with a high vibration and just stay in this day, stay in that energy? And it may last 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 hours, it may last all day. But they're saying, have a conscious moment in the morning to start your day in a high vibration, even if there's nothing to look forward to. One of the things, and I used to have this, we painted, I lived with some wonderful girls. God, we had the best time. We had this condo down on the bay in Fairhope, and it was 3 bedroom, 3 bath. It was right on the water. It was such a fantastic time. And we painted on the front door. It was at the back of the front door. So when you walked out every morning, or anytime you walked out the door, we painted something wonderful is going to happen today. And it was just so uplifting. And so that is just something. Feet hit the floor in the morning, or you're having your coffee, and let that be your little mantra. Something wonderful is going to happen today, because you can't help but get excited, even if you slept horribly, even if the first thing you read on your phone put you in a icky mood. Just like take all that away and say something wonderful is going to happen today. And if you have to say it 3 times, 10 times, do it. If you want to write it, write it. Whatever will shift your vibration to those channels that you want to tune into, set that in the morning. And don't get hung up on what you have to let go of. Just know what's there. Know that's channels you've been tuning into, and all you have to do is switch. Does that make sense? And don't put too much weight on what you have to do to get here. Just allow yourself to be there, because when you can tune into those other channels, you set that vibration in the morning, your whole day is going to reflect that. And pretty soon it's just going to become easy and natural, and you'll realize you don't have those things to let go of anymore. One day you're just going to realize they're gone. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Thank you all for joining. This is so much fun. Okay, let me see if I have anything else going on here. Okay, some of these are long, so I'm going to have to save them. Okay, you guys, I tell you what, I will be back on October, 11th. And again, I'll be in Alabama next week. I'm so looking forward to it. It's funny, when I moved to Alabama, I was living in San Francisco, and I thought, oh my, the years I was in San Francisco, I thought I would never move to Alabama. And I just have to tell you, I really miss it. I love that state. There's so much about that state that I appreciate. And I would say this to anybody watching, no matter where you are in the world, in the country. You know, Alabama's probably got a bad rap or a bad reputation. It's probably a lot of those southern states do. Um, yeah, it's really something. And I would encourage everybody to visit Alabama. I would. Birmingham is amazing. Fairhope is amazing. Gosh, the coastal towns, even Mobile is really starting to shift its vibration too. And I don't know. I would say go check it out and just be open. So I will see you soon, Alabama. I will be on that road Sunday, and I look forward to it. And I will tell you this too: I've never seen bluer skies than I've seen in Alabama. There's something so wild about the blue skies there. They're very different and worth noticing. So see, even that. It's like, gosh, when you really can be present in your life and pay attention, you will notice those kinds of things. And I'm sure so many of you tuning in already do. And the guides would say, point that out to others. Point that out to others. Teach people just by your own experience. Not teach them, but show them a different perspective. Like, gosh, have you seen those blue skies in Alabama? And you know, then you might be talking to somebody who's never even looked up and noticed. So, okay. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Please be safe if you're in the path of this storm, and send your prayers and light and good vibes out to all of those dealing with the aftermath. And look for how you can unite with one another, your neighbors, just strangers. Be open to that and let yourself receive today. Okay, bye.